Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
We're still going along with Mexico, like that. And this is one of two, and I'm going to start off here with this shield here, and the red blouse. This red blouse is a line in a poem I'm going to read, and you'll see what it is. And of this symbol here, or this sign, Mayan name is Coyote. Meaning the junction of the four roads. And my first encounter with this is what I'm going to say first off, is we lived over there in Arizona, and in Tempe, the old Tempe, that is adjacent to the Yaqui village of Guadalupe. And we lived at the foot of what they call Tempe Butte. And there are petroglyphs up there. And it's also Hayden's Crossing, that is Hayden's Ferry, it's Jack Hayden, and it crossed the Salt River right there. And it was also a very ancient crossing. Papago Park was on the other side, and all of that. The one time I was up there sitting on the butte, it's kind of a cone shape like that, and I'm sitting there to see the sunset, looking west to the sunset. As I'm sitting there below on the rock below me, I had never noticed before on this occasion, it just kind of lit up to me that there was this carved in the rock right here, right below me. It looked like that. And somehow I intuited it was saying, I create. I subsequently made a plaster little sculpture of it. I still have it somewhere, all of that. But it's continued from, that's been a few years back, continued in all this time as a kind of guide or a teacher that I've learned more and more coming from it. It is the junction of the four roads that are coming from the Milky Way. The Milky Way, the ancients figured, is crossing with an ecliptic where the sun and the moon and those are crossing it, and it also incorporates some of the stars of Sagittarius. And this is very, very important to the ancient people, and it's continued that way. And I'm also employing this briefly as a net, because it always looks like a net to me. And this little piece is a little poem. The Aztecs were actually called themselves the Mexica. The Mexica, after the goddess. It seems the etymology is the maguey cactus. That an apparition came from that and sponsored the genesis of these people, later called the Aztecs. And then when the so-called Spaniards and the Iberian pirates is what they were, had destroyed and devastated everything. And this little brief has survived, called The Lament of the Mexica. We have pounded our hands in despair against the adobe walls, for our inheritance was only a net of holes. Brief as it is, like that. And I've written some notes down there. Concepts such as spiritual conquest and cultural assimilation obscures the expressions that can articulate positions of critique and resistance, as well as the mutuality of cultural influences between the Mediterranean and Mexico. The importance of cultural identity isn't a static concept, but is flexible and dynamic, and especially when it is threatened. Traditional ways of being and thinking, and though we too may fear that we have inherited a net of holes, a foray into the mythic Atlan finds the many threads that still link us to our elders and to distant cultures. Atlan is the mythic place, and that is why the people are coming across the border. They are driven to it. Recently, saw on the television with the Border Patrol one of the migrants that was apprehended, expressed himself, "It is the inheritance of our ancestors that we must do this. Some of us may fail, some of us must die, but we cannot stop coming here." Aztlan means the place of the heron. And just now, as Jack and I were driving up here, and this is the second Sunday in a row that I've seen this creature who looks like a great white heron, flew right in front of us, right down here by the freeway. So Aztlan is also the place of the white heron. And this is my piece for this. Nairika is a ritual word meaning face for making a little votive offerings that are usually put in a cave like this one. Here in this temple of the double cross, transform cross, criss, cross, face, cross. Black obsidian cross, Salillo's shadow of San Juanita blue. Peyote flower rose in mushroom's heart. Red blousa in Coyote wind is filled with this secret wish. In the presence of naked existence, lift those skirts to see nature undressed.